And we're finally back with a rebuild. I'm Madden 23, and today it is of a team we know quite well just from our Seahawks franchise this year, and it's, of course, the Seattle Seahawks, a team that had a pretty good draft. It seems like the media kind of thinks that they didn't. I'm not really sure why. Maybe just because they took a wide receiver when they didn't need one, supposedly. But this team spreads the ball around a lot, and with Metcalf and Lockett at the number 1 and 2 spot, JSN, who could be a number 1 in his own right, being behind those guys, I mean, this doesn't even feel fair. It really, like, if Geno even plays like 80% of what he played last season, which now he has even more talent to do so, this team is going to be so unstoppable on offense. This should be a fun team to watch. It's almost like you don't want them to run the ball, even though you know Seattle's going to love and want to do that. Charbonnet, the added running back, a solid player there, and I mean, you can call it a head scratcher, but once again, get who you want. If you feel like he's going to help your offense become unstoppable or more unstoppable, why not? I mean, this team really does look stacked on offense. And offensive line has had some pretty good, talented players. You know, Abraham Lucas and Damian Lewis and obviously Charles Cross. I mean, this is a pretty decent offensive line now. It's not the same kind of offensive line that Russell Wilson had to deal with through the years. Interior, would like to see him maybe spend a little bit of higher capital on those guys, but it's still a really sick-looking offense, and obviously we know, how Geno made that crazy comeback in his career last season, if you will. And crazy enough, not quite as fast. Kind of looked like Russell Wilson a little bit out there. The rollouts, the cross-body throws, and the throwing as you're being hit and still getting the ball there. It was a hell of a year, and it must have been satisfying to be a Seahawks fan. I mean, it must have been satisfying knowing that. Yeah, everyone's like, wow, you traded Russell Wilson to the Broncos, and wow, that's crazy. Poverty franchise now, and then they end up looking like the mad winners of that. Of course, Russell Wilson still got time, but obviously as of right now, it's like A+++, Seattle, D- for the Broncos. I also feel like I do have to mention Noah Fant, who honestly at times last season looked like the worst out of the 3 tight ends. Still hasn't quite lived up to that potential. We're hoping he does here in this rebuild, though. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Bobby Wagner's back. Of course, they have Devin Bush now, and Jordan Brooks is still here. They added Derek Hall, the speedster off the edge. Mike Morris is added. Didn't get Al Woods back or Quentin Jefferson. I think Jefferson's still a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. But Draymond Jones, the huge, expensive name that they brought in, who had a really good season last year. Speaking of really good seasons, Tariq Woolen, you could have easily went down the stat line. I'm not talking about like tackles, interception, the advanced stat line, and made a case for him to be Rookie of the Year instead of Sauce Gardner. But still a really good season no matter what. All the Madden fans and us were like, how did he last so long? And then it happened. It's like, sometimes you wonder, right? Sometimes you wonder. Take a chance on an athlete. It works out. And then Witherspoon, obviously, he's here now. Pick 5 overall. Cornerbacks are good. I mean, it's weird to say Legion of Boom 2.0. For one, it's not going to be 2.0. 2.0, it's like one of those, I don't know what the word is for it, but you know how like words mean something, but because the perception is something different, it basically rewords the word. 2.0 is supposed to mean new and improved. I don't know how you would be new and improved from that defense, the Legion of Boom, one of the greatest defenses ever, but I guess Legion of Boom 0.9, maybe? I don't know. The safeties are pretty good. Jamal Adams is more of a name at this rate than he is like that elite player. I honestly probably like Diggs more than Adams. Bobby Wagner still playing at a pretty high level. The Rams are rebuilding, but I'm still like, why not keep him around if he wants to be there and just help him mold some of your players? I mean, I don't know how saving a little bit of money with a roster that's dog crap anyways is going to help you rebuild in this sense. I mean, have yourself a veteran leader, one of the greatest of all time, I think is pretty fair to say. I would have put him in like top 10 or something, but I mean, I would say he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. He's right there. I mean, why? I don't know. The Rams, they are a roster, I guess. But yeah, I actually really like the Seahawks draft. Like I said, I would like to see them do a little bit more on the interior earlier rounds, but They did get a couple of guys, I think, in the 4th-ish, I believe. But as of right now, we're going to start Bradford just because our current right guard's only a few overalls higher. I will show you the ratings, though, of some of these youngsters. If you don't like the ratings I gave, I apologize. Okay, what can I tell you? Jackson Smith and Jigba looks very solid, obviously. I think 90 speed's fair. He's actually pretty decently fast. I know the 40 time at first didn't really look great, then it kind of improved on it, but in general, just the way he plays, he looks up at, anywhere from 88 to 90. This is like the closest face. This is this is a roster that I downloaded. It's that It's Cheesy 2, I think, again, that I mentioned in one of the latest rebuilds. But I had to edit some of the players. But super strong, obviously really good player, and juke move might be a little high there, to be honest, but it is what it is. And then don't worry about the O-line. I barely know anything about them, so their ratings aren't really changed much. Derek Hall with some speed, 87 speed, 89 excel. Pretty good player, obviously. He's going to be the starter on the outside. And then Mike Morris. I didn't really change too much on many of these players, but Mike Morris, normal development trade. I kind of base their dev on the round and their comp, just because I feel like that's a little bit more of a fair way to do it, since there's no guarantee on what EA is going to do. They've had so many boneheaded decisions in the past. Like when Gronk came back, they're like 95 overall. Like, okay, dude. And then you had all these guys defending. It's like, oh, but look at this. And then not even a couple of weeks in, he ended up becoming an 86 overall because, as we expected, he didn't play like a 95 overall. Outside of the speed, kind of can a little bit, to be honest. Hey, I was about to kind of mention, if Geno has a really good season, we might have to kind of do the old Stafford treatment where you kind of save him a little bit, because the game obviously isn't like real life. You can't play 10 seasons in game as a low overall and then just pop up 10 plus overalls because you had a really good season. You got to manually do that. So if he has a killer season, we might have to kind of adjust accordingly. Uchenna Nwosu is a superstar, so he didn't get the camp standout, but he got a breakout, which is actually not harder, I don't think. Not sure what kind of contract he is on, but if he needs one, we probably have to give it to him. So apparently only 3 players, which I am down to ignore these guys. Best of luck. Another front upgrade in Dev, Mr. Mike Morris. 5K XP, we love it. You know what I love even more? If you left a like on the video, maybe subscribed if you're new. We also got a playoff berth. The Niners were creeping up on us, and they kind of just sold near the end. We are the best team in the division, apparently, and we will take it. This is a team that should definitely compete next year, so even though we would love a lesser pick early on just to, get a really good pick, good couple of players, and then, develop them, this team definitely should compete next season, so kind of expected to see this kind of result. So there's that. The Cardinals, a team that has been underperforming for a while now. The roster definitely has a lot more holes in it than it did a few seasons ago, and I would expect them to kind of struggle. Maybe not this much, but definitely would expect a struggle. And then what were the Rams? What they 0-17? Holy, there's a lot of losses. What was that, 3 wins out of 14 losses? Which, once again, kind of makes sense. 4-13. Outside of the Niners, I don't see this as the furthest thing off from the truth, honestly. But let's take a look at these numbers. Geno Smith, that is a really good season. I don't know if he's going to go up in Dev, but that is an 83, 84 overall type of season, in my opinion. In real life, it's more than that, but the touchdowns are a little low, I will admit. But 3 interceptions only is ridiculous. What is that passer rating? How does that compare to the rest of the league? That is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think 83 or 84 overall is fair at 11, to be honest. But there's that. Not bad at all. Let's go back to our team, as we don't really care about these guys. The Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, pretty similar to his last season, honestly. Just a lot more touchdowns. Charbonnet, not a bad backup season, since the average season in AI, Simage is 3.3. JSN, best season, not by yards per catch, but was better than Metcalf, I suppose. Weird little season. Fant finally showing up, I suppose. That would be a great season for him. Cross, not good, but Lucas was solid. Only 100. That's the highest tackle account. That's crazy. And Nwosu could be an X factor, which is crazy to think. Draymond Jones, please be superstar. This team paid way too much for you to not to be the guy. Derek Hall 5.5, Wagner 4.5, and then where the hell is everyone else? We have a left end, do we not? Wolin should be a superstar, at least hopefully. Myers not bad, punting's not bad. Kick return, punt return game is meh. It is what it is. Any award wins? Maybe something for the rookie side of things if we're lucky. And, okay, I mean, it's not supposed to be Kenneth, but I suppose Bryce Young would have got it if not him, so we'll take it. And then Woolen at number 3, which, once again, shouldn't count anyways, but it is what it is. And I did change the playbooks. I am rocking Dallas on offense because I think that this team is built kind of close to what, like, Dallas would like to do. Obviously, the offensive line isn't as good, but there's a lot of similarities in the way the rosters are kind of built. And then defensively, I think we're rocking the Chargers defense. Obviously, we had to change the scheme because their new defensive coordinator obviously will be running that 3-4. 6-0. Not great, but it's something. We have a lead still. Halftime lead. Legion of Boom 2.0 might be legit if we're going to hold them to 3 points only. And that's not going to happen with the offense throwing interceptions. Come on, offense! I'm not saying we should win it this early, but at the same time, if the opportunity's there, strike and take it. Up by 7, defense is doing its thing. And that's my Legion of Boom, baby. Let's take a look at the players' stats. Sounding like I'm freaking drunk. Geno Smith, 90 passer rating, 10 incompletions out of 31. I mean, it's a decent game. Once again, I think people don't really realize how bad quarterbacks play in the playoffs, genuinely. Like, I don't think they do. People look at, like, they're like, I'll look at Brady's rings, and, like, I always see, like, I don't care too much anymore since he's not on the team. But the Rodgers stuff, it's like Brady constantly wins, Rodgers doesn't, and Rodgers chokes in the playoffs. And it's like you look at the stats and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Brady's stats in the playoffs aren't that good. It's like playing quarterback in the playoffs is actually like way harder than some people think it is. Whoa, wait a minute. And it's like you're arguing with a wall because they just assume because someone's won so many rings that there's just like their normal stats are regular season type stats when that's just not how it works. It just isn't. Let's take a look at the divisional round. The Panthers, who've definitely had some run of it in sim lately. 81 overall to their 81 overall. Let's get it. And I know we did start off as a 79 overall, I believe, but a little surprised we didn't go up a little higher than this. I didn't put the ratings on, or the XP sliders on that crazy, but thought we would have been a little higher than this already because there's so many young developable players on this team. Up by 7, we take that. Okay, but back up by 7. That was a really quick sequence. Down by 3, yep, as expected. Offense has a chance here from the 23. Can they clutch up again? 3rd and 10, you got to go for the field goal. I was going to come in and like force play or something. Oh, this team, 3rd and inch, this is the game. I mean, even if you get the stop, it's probably the game, but at least you'd have yourself a chance. Now, if they go for a pass, this is how you know EA is just off their medication. And it's probably should have just let them score. That's a GG. Ran the blitz with the run commit, and they just had 0 push. This is like the greatest blocking set I've ever seen. There was 0 push. It was a good season, but the Panthers are just on a tear. Really? I guess they're going to score the touchdown with 4 seconds remaining. Who's the return man? Eskridge. He's kind of fast. There's no way they would kick this deep, though. But let's try the return. That's a pretty crap attempt, but trying to do too much with not much to do. And, yeah, that's going to be the season. Not bad. I mean, the divisional round, I mean, that's okay. That's kind of where I would expect this team to at least make it or get close to. That's kind of, I wouldn't say their peak, but that would be a realistic expectation. JSN killed it, though. Sack totals, Brian Burns and coming. Wow, we had nothing on them. Their DBs had more than our freaking front had. Come on, dude. Do better. It's crazy, though, to just think that the Panthers are that, like, set. Like, in-game. Like, they're okay, but I don't think they're that good. I really don't. But here they are in the Super Bowl against the Patriots of all teams. I'm not sure how this is a thing, but it is. And they win the Super Bowl. All right, let's take a look at the DevUps. There's one DevUp I know is, yeah, I knew that wasn't going to happen. JSN I thought maybe would have went up in Dev, didn't. Kenneth, I would imagine, was only star to start, so superstar Dev for that Rookie of the Year, and I believe Best Running Back Award win. Kind of have a hard time accepting Geno Smith as a star Dev after a 33 touchdown to 3 interception season. I mean, even though the touchdowns are low, that's still MVP vote caliber. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's hard not to. I want to put him as an 84 overall, but I don't know if I want to jump his Dev or not. That sounded really weird the way I said that. Defensively, Draymond Jones goes up in Dev, and then, of course, as expected, Woolen, who is now basically a god. Of course, he's already good at zone coverage, so slot upgrades will be... Wow, what an upgrade. Okay, that's a bit of a jump. Slot upgrades are so busted still in the game. It's insane. Of course, didn't get a coverage upgrade there, but 99 speed. That's absurd, dude. That's absurd. Of course, got some upgrades for Kenneth as well. Whether we won the Super Bowl or not doesn't really matter too much because this was a great season regardless. Morris, no, he was already up in Dev. We got it from regular season, actually. Yeah, would have loved to see, Diggs go up or Wagner go up. Players that are on the older side, but we don't hate it. We definitely don't hate it. And then Geno, I'm going to boost him into an 84 overall, but I really think I should up his Dev too, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to up his overall to an 84, maybe 83 overall. Let's get that throw power up one, medium, beep boop bop, bing bong. What's his awareness? Oh, no. It's hard to get let's just go 83. 83 overall. I think that's fair. 33 touchdowns and 3 interceptions is absurd. Even with that low amount of touchdowns, I really thought that he was still going to have a very good chance at winning MVP. Where was he on the list? I got to take a look. But Kenneth Walker, power, because they're going to upgrade his elusive anyways. So anytime I can get an upgrade point in, I'm going to go with the opposite style just so we can have more balance. And yeah, he looks pretty good already. That Dev up definitely is going to benefit him a ton. Let's take a look at MVP because I kind of didn't really think about it, but he should have been on the list. He was number 9, which is not bad, especially since Deshaun Watson, I believe, had the best passer rating. He was only at 8. Some of our expiring contracts are kind of in the defensive front side. Linebacker, I think one of the defensive players, I think Nwosu, edge. But first free agents cycle typically isn't going to be the greatest. There is a solid choice in Myles Jack, but I feel like you'd just re-sign Jordan Brooks. Like, why even move on from someone new or to someone new? Right tackle isn't needed at the moment. Guard/center is, but that does not appear to be a thing we can get. Also, we are already kind of against it. You're paying a quarterback, not traditional, but like new quarterback market money, really, but he still is expensive-ish. So you kind of like, maybe relax. I think it is draft. I think we're just going to draft players. Don't think any of these players are really going to be viable for us since they're expensive and they're not that great. And they're on the older side. All right, we're in the draft. The Chargers had pick 1 overall. We have 26. There were several options, so that's why I went to this spot. It's a couple of 1 to 2s, but overall, all the guys that I wanted didn't really need to get up that high to do so. Some decent corners still available, but we actually just don't need that position, so there's no point in looking. Claxton, I think, is a must-grab. He's got an A in run block, B in pass block, A awareness. He looks solid. 42 bench press reps, which is insane. He's the fastest 40. That's one of the strongest linemen I've ever seen. So I'm being careful there because you also do have Eric Kennard. He looks really good too, but we kind of only need one defensive tackle type, and EA suggested Roycer, and he actually looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to trade to 10 here, grab the guard, assuming he's there. 10, sometimes they go a little earlier than that, but I think I'm going to go to 10, add another pick, and then probably trade up after going to 10 to get 2 players maybe back-to-back. All right, we trade 26 to the Bengals for 43 and 75. Not quite pick 10, but we could probably just trade up to pick 10 anyways. And the Bengals with that pick are going to take a running back. Interesting. Ooh, that outside linebacker I had that looked really good just went. Could you imagine if that was Claxton? I think Claxton's worth taking here. I really do. He looks amazingly solid. He also have this 1 to 2, but he didn't end up turning out to be that great. But Hugh Claxton, super strong, very fast. Not the biggest guy, but he looks decent. And he's normal dev. Oh, man. Like, why does it gotta be me, though? Like, what's the best we can get out of him? Like a 76 overall normal? Sure, that would be great, but that's like best case. He could be like 72 overall normal for all we know. So, I don't know what to tell you. We also scouted this guy more. He looks great. I think I'm going to grab him. Cornerback, Pickett. Is Pickett still there? Come on, why do we need a corner? He's so good. I guess pretty much all of our guys are 3 to 4s, and we want to extend this draft. So we're going to trade down from 26 to like pick 5 in the 3rd or something like that, which we already have picked 9, which is sweet. We trade 58 and 170. 170 is next year for 71 and 103 this year with a 7th next year with the Cardinals, division rival here. See what they ended up trading up for, which was a safety. Don't know too much about the safeties in this class, to be honest. Hope we're not selling here because we have a lot of draft picks here, so we could definitely have traded up. So I'm just glad, or hoping our players are there anyways. Can't say glad because we don't even know. DT, I think, is the biggest need as of right now, so that is the position we're going to be going for. Devontae Royster, A finesse, A tackle, C block shed. Just strong enough, but very athletic for his size, so we're going to hope and get another normal. Okay, a little more worried about this one because it is an EA suggested one. Those are so hit or miss. Starling is gone, who is one of my linebacker picks, but assuming Troop or Trope is still there, whatever his name is, I mean, I'm fine, which he is. Pickett is still there. Bro, I'm half tempted to take him. Like, a lot of the times when players are still there this late, it is like because they suck, but I don't think that's the case here. With an I'm taking him. Adonis Pickett. Another normal, but 94 speed, 95 excel at 6'1", 21 years old. We'll see if we made another mistake. But I will say, these normals have been really brutal. Mr. Peter, 22 years old, which worries me, but pretty athletic, obviously, and all those A's can't be wrong. Bro! He's A, not even athletic. His change of direction is pretty good. But another normal, dude. Of course, doesn't really matter too much for the defenders because they can definitely dev up, but that still really sucks, dude. That is so bull. I've had some pretty bad luck in this one so far. 5th round might have been a little too high for 7 spots, but maybe not at the same time. It is the 3rd round still. Pick 7 in the 4th round, so we still have more capital to use if we see someone decent. Maybe that cornerback just to play safety. I don't know, but Dante Bonds, 22 years old. Please be hidden. Thank you. It's probably not going to matter, but we've got our line in theory set. And that's all I could ask for. Let's go to the next pick, see if we want to use it or trade it down. And I do kind of want this quarterback because he actually looks okay. Day 3 talent is worth taking in like the 5th or the 6th round probably. And even though we don't need running back, this Jeff Harden guy looks pretty good. And it is the Seahawks after all. This is a team that likes to make these types of picks. Do I make the play on a running back I absolutely don't need? And the Niners are actually going to give me a 3rd next year. So interdivisional, once again, you look at those things like, wow, interdivisional, why would they do that? And look, that is a real life situation of why they would do that. You once again got to worry about your team more than your rivals' teams. And if they're giving you the best offer, what are you doing? Why not? I'm actually going to go Taggart here. Jeremy Taggart, elite throw power, pretty athletic, CCBB, 21 years old, developable guy. Normal dev, not bad. Well, based on those, I mean, obviously you could just have like 16 throw powers. I don't know. Should have probably slowed it down and grabbed the running back. He's not there, so we're going to go, I believe this guy's fast, right? We're going to go with this fast guy, Cam Claiborne, very fast, and that's the only reason why he's on the team. Just his fast guy. Ooh! The craziest part, I was literally thinking, I was like, this guy could be hidden, but this is the least known fullback I've ever taken. A bunch of A to C's, but I was like, you know what? All these A to C's are still better than everyone else's A to C's. Didn't even look at his 40 time or anything, but 6'3", 263, great strength, speed's okay for the size. A hidden fullback, I don't even know if I've done that this Madden. It is rare to see hidden fullbacks. I mean, they're more rare than hidden punters. It's crazy, at least for me. I don't know about other people, but hidden dev, what's that? I'm going to go straight to him. Let's see these over. Oh, okay, so these normals outside of the linebacker are actually not bad, especially the guard. That's a good pick. That is a really good pick. The DT's fine, obviously. Corner might never get used, to be honest. What about this fullback? 72 overall, I'm curious. One of the only hiddens we drafted. 87 lead block. Very good lead block. Obviously, the other ratings are pretty tame. Probably only star, but you never know. Let's see. And, yeah, star dev. So, nothing crazy special, but still kind of cool. 67 overall for the quarterback. Let's take a look at him. Not bad. Usable, but definitely not a guy I would expect to be the future of this team. But, with a quarterback like Geno, who's, a lot of question marks going forward, you just don't know if it was a fluke season or, what's going to happen down the line. It's not bad having, late fourth type quarterback learning, just to have somebody there as a precautionary measure, especially with that offensive line. Sometimes they do get bullied. This guard is not built to play center. Our guard that we drafted was really good because he's smaller, but what's the dev? Star. It would have been nice to see Superstar. It would have kind of counteracted the absolute lack of those positions. But let's take a look at some of these ratings. I'm going to just go from here. I think it's a little quicker. 82 finesse with 72 block shed. So that is a good player. He's just not hidden, which we don't mind. Man in zone coverage. So this guy was absolutely worth it as well. It's just because he's not a starter, I don't know what's going to happen, but he'll be the number 3 for sure. He's the best we have at the number 3 spot. 81 overall corner because the Eagles clearly need that. They clearly need that. Oh my, what's that dev? 81 overall. Probably X Factor or star. There's no in between. Yep, there's no in between. When you're an 81 overall, it's either star or X Factor. It's never superstar, at least in my opinion. 81 overall, 97 speed, 6'4". Holy crap, he's ridiculous. 99 jumping. Of course, they have to do him dirty with the injury toughness, but that guy's crazy. He's not the best wide receiver I've seen, but he's up there. He's up there. He's also an X Factor. Wow, some sick players in this class. Any others? 79 overall. Oh, that's our guy. Hey, what up? The guy that the Bengals trade up for was a 78 overall, a hidden development trait. 94 speed, 95 excel. That could be generational. That speed is insane. It's also technically a 79, but I'd guess star. And yeah, that was a correct guess. Solid player, though. I wonder if Harden's on the list because he's actually pretty good. He is. 75 overall. Only normal. He's pretty good, but yeah, it's not somebody we really needed to have. And I'm kind of curious about Hamlin because he had a lot of A's. 85. Of course, he's hidden. Zone coverage sucks. Block shed's great, though. Zone coverage isn't the hardest to develop, but you probably wouldn't get it developed in the game. And Superstar. Oh, that would have been perfect. We'll say, though, we drafted Trope as a future player just because of the high potential rather than starting now. So, guy like him might have never started anyways. Here we go for Season 2. Looking a little better. Not crazy better, but looking a little better. The receivers are on point. The running back's on point. The quarterback's played on point. O-line is improving, kind of. The guard goes down 2 overalls because every position goes up at guard. But he is the smallest, best built for that position, I suppose. Linebackers, Brooks, because of the overall, is now the number 1, even though Bush has so much more potential than Wagner. Gotta let Wagner play it out, though. DT1 is now Royster. He's kind of, the biggest guy we have on the D-line, so I have no choice. And then the corners and safety. I mean, everyone's great. Only worries are free safety, and then I guess Nwosu, and then quarterback. But Geno, if he plays well, get that dev up. Save his career even more. All right, time to find out how screwed we are. Nwosu, we have Brooks, who doesn't want to rejoin. Fant, who may actually be replaced because some of these... Okay, so obviously the guys, the rookies will get 2 more years. I think we could just barely afford what we have. Do we want to, though? Let's find out. On par for another double-digit season, so why wouldn't I keep Nwosu? 4 years, 60 is for these numbers are actually, that's pretty fair for us. 4 years, 60 works. 32 million left. Brooks would be great to keep because he's pretty young. 5 year, 50. Would you do 10 mil per year? Why wouldn't you? Nice. Okay, 23 mil left. Really don't want to replace tight end. Let's first see how Noah Fant's playing because he had a pretty good season last year, but once again, don't want to pay someone that's not playing well. Those touchdowns are low, but the yards are high. I guess I pay this. I really don't want to do more than that. I'm not doing more than 10 mil per. Lewis is actually asking for a light amount of money. I don't know what that means here, but 4 year, 30. So we have 7.8 mil left. And other than increasing Fant's money, we don't need to do anything. So that's okay, I guess. Barely keeping the team alive, creeping along here, but it's working. D-line loves to get their dev ups. Mr. Royster is a star dev, which is why you don't hate normal dev DTs. All right, going to the wild card round. This team's playing well, but it also helps when the division is not. 10-7, we had a couple of ups and downs. Well, not even ups and downs. It's basically downs. Really good start, 8-2, and then just a bunch of losses in between. Some winnable games, but also winning against some teams that maybe shouldn't have won against. So we'll take the win. We'll take the division yet again. Give ourselves another shot at this whole Super Bowl winning thing. Let's take a look at the numbers, please. It's promising. What are those interceptions? Okay, so definitely not good enough for a dev up, but also not good enough for a regression, in my opinion. So 82, 83 overall, maybe. That's still a really good season yet again. Kenneth killed it. You got to remember how many touchdowns Kenneth is stealing here, right? 20 rushing touchdowns. You put even 5 to 10 of them on there. That's 40 plus, right? Basically, 39 plus, whatever, So, that does play a factor. JSN, Fant, and Lockett went off. Metcalf is kind of getting screwed here. I don't know if it's because I have him as the number 2 slot guy to try and get him more stats, but I might have to change that. Cross has played absolutely horrendously, giving up almost 40 sacks in 2 seasons. 200 tackle plus guys this time, and Wosu 10.5 sacks, didn't really finish that well. Hall was pretty good. Royster was iffy. Jones was definitely worse. Interceptions were pretty good. Kicking was decent. Punting was way better than last year. Kick return, punt return game, not bad. Obviously got a lot of speed there now at those 2 return spots. Jalen Hurts is your league MVP. Any award wins, Kenneth Walker, he's been killing it. Makes sense, actually. Best running back, best offensive. So he's an X factor, I would imagine. And we still have the playoffs to play. So not a bad year. Definitely not a bad year. Don't know if anyone else would have got dev ups. Maybe, JSN's been teetering. Fant maybe goes up in dev, which maybe not the best timing since he has chosen to go to free agency, which honestly, unless he goes to superstar, I probably don't even fight it. But we could tag him, worst case. We are higher overall than the Buccaneers now, but let's see. Is this the year? Ready to take a look at the end of the game. I'm really surprised, though, that this division is playing as badly as it is. Is it just the playbooks, maybe? Of course, 10-0, speaking of playing badly as it is. Not a great start for us, but here we are leading now. They get a field goal, and we're up by 1 at half. Defense is doing its thing. It's just offense is really struggling. It's really struggling. I'm telling you, I don't get it. No, now they're killing it. But I was about to say, a lot of people always said that the Dallas Cowboys playbook and scheme and all that just is godly, but it's never been good for me. We definitely picked it up there at the end, but it really hasn't been ever good for me. Kenneth was awful, considering he was normally really good, especially in the regular season. Cansey, pretty cool stuff there. A lot of the rookies from real life getting involved. Even Witherspoon with an interception. Let's finish the game. I really still don't understand why the name Witherspoon isn't allowed, though. There was literally, multiple Witherspoons in the league over the years. And, what's... I'm trying to think of, because obviously there's names that you can, bait it out, and it's innocent, but when you've combined it with something, it's not. I'm trying to think. I don't know, dude. If holes allowed, maybe, Witherspoon my hole. I don't know, dude. I really can't think. Maybe I'm just not that creative with these names. But I really don't know what, But it is pretty dumb, because there's obviously combinations. I have a couple in my head that I would imagine they let you, put, but that's not allowed somehow. I don't know. But the Packers, with their Rookie of the Year quarterback, are 84 overall. We are an 88 overall. Seattle technically has had the number of the Packers over the years. That's a pretty good run so far, even if, this is another divisional round loss. Getting here back-to-back is still pretty nice. Obviously, you kind of feel like something's got to give, but I like that we're succeeding early. We're doing well. 14 all. Come on. Oh, that's not good for us. Offense gives it right back. Defense this time. Man. The offense isn't playing well, but this defense is being relied upon again in this pretty much the same situation as last year. Brett Favre. And we contain this time. They got a chance, I guess. Is that Metcalf's number? Inside. Nice move. Lockett, who normally doesn't do that kind of stuff, cutting inside, gaining an extra 7 yards. Because obviously that ball is staying in bounds basically no matter what. So being able to gain that many yards on that situation is great. Metcalf going against a linebacker. That's a late read. That is such a stupid, really dumb read. I maybe called it something else there. But unfortunately, I have sold. The team in general has sold, and we have lost in the divisional round for the second straight season. The offense just didn't do enough, obviously. It wasn't like the worst performance ever, but they just didn't do enough. Didn't have a guy over 4 catches. 4 was the highest, and Kenneth had 4 of them for 17 yards, which is really not great. We just need our playmakers to do better, especially on offense, because the defense is doing just enough, and the offense is doing nothing at all. Sure, that should have not thrown that interception, but if I let the AI play it out, like I said, unless they got that huge one-play touchdown, they were going to lose anyways. We at least kind of made it interesting, almost did it. But ultimately, we are out of the playoffs before the Super Bowl and even the championship yet again. Kind of feel like we need a bye week so we can just get that guaranteed one win we always have. And here are the Panthers going for their second straight Super Bowl, because that is what we all expect to happen, and they win it at 9-8. All right, let's take a look at the dev ups. There's not a whole lot of players that I would have expected to dev up, though. And all right, JSN was not a guy I was expecting to dev up, but there was a chance of it, and he did do it. I suppose his would be, that's kind of stupid. I guess short in elite, not that it really matters too much in sim. Fant didn't go up in dev. I thought maybe he had a chance at it. Walker didn't go up in dev, which is really shocking. And then nobody on defense went up in dev, sadly. But assuming we don't have some crazy regressions, which I think they have already hit because Wagner's like under 84 overall, we're in an okay spot still. And as far as Fant goes, he had a good year. But unless we have a lot of money that we didn't expect to have, I don't know if I'm going to tag him. We do have a lot of money I didn't expect to have. But do we have to pay anyone? You have to pay Gino, who we're likely going to do that for. That's another 30 mil per, probably. Draymond Jones, he's not bad, but definitely letting him go. So that's a huge burn gone. Same with Disley, who probably should be gone in real life at this point. And then Wagner, who should also probably be gone. So I might actually do some of these moves as, once again, these contracts, a lot of these guys shouldn't even be here, even like Devin Bush. But I'll allow Devin Bush to stay here because I may re-sign him. So that at least, the other guys I'm not going to re-sign, I would never keep. Whereas Devin Bush, it actually hurts us that we don't have to re-sign him because we could have re-signed him last season, which would have made the contract a little bit smarter since the age. But now, maybe not so much. Fant, though, franchise tag of 15.9. He was basically asking for that anyways. I think I'm going to let him go for the off chance that we can get somebody better or just him back for similar price anyways. Not really much we could do about it. 15.9 is not great. It's not bad either, but it's not great. But let's see it. Oh, crap. I forgot about this stupid quarterback thing. I just forget about it every time, especially since I haven't done a rebuild in a while. A couple of days, not really a while, but do have Everett as like a last-ditch effort, but I think because he has 2 offers, it's probably not going to happen. And with Fant, we've already offered something similar to this, and he said no. 4-year 44, is that going to put him on the list? Puts him as the number 1. 11 mil per year for pretty successful seasons, I guess. Having these quarterbacks here when we got to pay our guy what we're going to have to pay him is pretty unfortunate, but we live with it. We move. Left tackle, we could use a lineman. I got to see Lucas's overall, because while he may be decent in real life and he's got potential in real life, in game, I don't know how his progression has gone. It's probably not been great, though. So Isaiah Simmons is an X factor. That's interesting. X factor with that zone coverage, man. I could use him at safety. Don't think I've had him at safety in ever either. A 4-year 34, play him at safety. We're on the list. Our name's in the hat, so I guess we'll just let it live and let it happen. See what goes down. I'm pretty happy with what we have offered. Anyone but Fant can be gone, but I really want Fant the most, I suppose. And wow, okay, so we only get Fant 4-year 44, which is fair enough, but really thought we would have done enough for the other guys. I suppose Simmons, a 4-year 30 to the Commanders. That's pretty stupid that he denied us. This makes sense with the Raiders because we only offered him a 1 year, but saved our money, I guess. Either way, Draymond Jones is going to be gone next season, so we should look to replace him. Looking at what we actually need, though, what positions is it? Quarterback, maybe we keep looking just in case. O-line for sure. Lucas is an 80 overall, so we're fine. We might not have to worry about O-line at all, although Cross I will not be paying, so I might have to replace him. Like, real life, I don't know, probably, but in game, he's playing like crap. What am I supposed to do? He's played like crap. We really need Lockett to dev up, though. I might actually put him as the main focus next season. Linebacker wouldn't hurt, just in case, even though Trope's decent. He's 23 normal, I believe, so Safety, that's why I wanted Simmons. So DT, safety, quarterback, perhaps. I mean, this team is pretty set. They just need to actually win the big games. Of course, my player is gone. The Vikings have taken him. I will now be moving, I believe, on to 26. I want to make sure, though, he's more of a DT type, obviously. Wait, what about quarterback? I didn't really expect there to be like guys here still. This is the guy I want because he's a 3 to 4 talent, so we'll probably take him in the 4th. Just because Geno still is a question mark. You know, if he plays really badly and I don't have the justification to keep his dev up or his ratings up, you know, I kind of have to move on, and we need to pay him this season, so this is a big season. It'd be nice to have an option. Quarterback's not bad. Owen Freeman looks decent. Throw power, solid. Yeah, okay, sucks. But who do I have here? Anyone at all? 1 to 2? Everyone's 2 to 3, so we're fine. That was my 1 to 2. Obviously, 2 to 3 could literally be like pick 10, but same situation as last year, the same exact spot, I believe, as well. Let's trade this down. And we're basically getting the same trade down. Broncos, I mean, fair enough, whatever. And with this pick, it kind of reminds me a little bit of last season, really. I'm going to go with Carter because we have 2 defensive tackles. I think Richardson's a little bit better than Slate, but they're both pretty similar. So I want Terrell Carter, who is definitely solid looking, very athletic. If this guy's not good, I'd be shocked. Normal dev sucks, but that's not exactly what I mean. I was hoping he would be hidden, obviously, but if he's not at least 74 overall, I'd be shocked. But it still does kind of suck that he isn't hidden development trade. Another normal dev. We are just drafting normal devs left and right. Don't know who's going to go first, Slate or Richardson, so we'll see. And it was Richardson, so we're going to be trading up to the Steelers. We also do have another DT, though, but I want this guy, Slate, big fella. Proper nose tackle, although he has a little bit of pass rush. And I don't know if this is an overtrade, undertrade, but 10 spots for a 4th-round pick. That's not bad, I suppose. Let's end up grabbing this end. We still have pick 1 in the 3rd round, which is nice, which will be the Slate guy. What about, Dave Jensen? We could use a tackle or two. Wouldn't be the worst name. We've got not many offensive linemen left. But they're all 2 to 3s, no? Wait a minute. If we want a lineman, we kind of need to take one 2 to 3. Okay. We're going to go with Slate, though. Jeff Slate. Yes, hidden development trade. Not the strongest guy in the world. He was significantly weaker than Richardson. He's like 7 bench press reps different, but once again, strength really hasn't been the most strong. Oh, of course, he's gone. Hasn't been the thing I've sought after the most. We traded 65 and 136 for 55, which is pretty close to the other trade, but obviously a little bit later in this round, so it's a little bit less value. I really don't even think this lineman's all that great, but I want a rookie lineman every single season for the hopes that they are hidden. That impact block, the run block, I think is enough with the strength for me to take the chance. And I was wrong. Don't really need the DT spot. Super athletic, strength is okay. Don't need the position, though. We've already got a guy that's replacing a guy that's not even gone yet. So there's that. Receiving tight end, Julian Clifton was pretty good. I'm going to go Julian Clifton, hidden development trade. That guy looked a little bit more expected to be hidden, but once again, you just never know. I've seen guys that look just like that aren't. Okay, I don't know what to do because they're both good. I'm going to take the quarterback, and then I'm going to wait until one of these guys are gone. What about this guy, Calvin Slay? 5'9". Great speed. I don't even know what's going on with these DBs, but, they look decent, and they're still here. But I'm going to go Walter Brown, and then I might trade up depending on when those guys go. Hidden Dev. I also will admit, I thought he was going to be stronger throw power, but Hidden Dev, he's worth it. Will he ever start? I don't know, but he's worth it. We give the Ravens Bobby Wagner, Boye Mafe, and a 5th-round pick for 94, which I think Mafe with the 5th is good enough, but Wagner, I feel so bad about. But we ended up trading him over to the Ravens because we're evil, evil people. But it will get us potentially a corner of the future, Donnell Gray, who's hidden development trade. I don't know if it's because there's just this influx of new corners that are really good rookies on top of the rookies that were from real life last season. I don't know, but there's been corners that are really good across the board here. I don't know. Last year's corner we got wasn't hidden, but he was also very good. It is what it is. It is what it is. All I can say. Okay, now this guy obviously looks like a straight-up bust, but a 1-2 still being there is kind of crazy. He's good at speed, but Excel is really bad. We're going to go with the kicker, Blake Sykes. Super strong, good accuracy. Let's see what we got ourselves. 96 kick power, maybe like 78-plus punting or accuracy. Also looks like he's about to rob Macaulay Culkin's house. Like, I actually don't know how that's Marv. Like, how is, like, can he not sue them? Because he's clearly being robbed here. But let's take a look at what we did. Iffy here and there, but kind of picked it up near the end. We actually did pretty good. Quarterback's only a 68 overall, but 74 for the corner, 72 for the kicker. Center we don't care about. Tight end 74. Buckner was normal. Slate was hidden, right? And then Carter wasn't. But like I said, I expected him to be a good overall, and he was. He'll be a future middle linebacker likely. He's very good at jumping. Catching's okay. It's good enough. Usually don't get that high at catching. Kind of curious to see these overalls, though. Obviously, Slate, we took the second best, probably. 76 block shed. True nose tackle, which, I mean, I suppose this team kind of needed. This team doesn't really have the size at that position. So, DT number 2, basically. What's that, Dev? Star Dev. Okay, so the other guy's pretty much automatically better. Even if he's normal, he might be better. What else do we have? We have Mr. Julian Clifton, who once again was a lot slower than that 40 kind of said. I didn't look at the left side. I just looked at the 40, and I thought it said great. Maybe not. Man, I thought he was going to be superstar. You see those tight ends, a lot of them are superstar. Not today, though, and then we did have 2 other hit-ins. We had this quarterback, 21 years old, super young. A bit raw, but his short accuracy is decent. He's also, well, young. He doesn't look young, but he is young. What's that, Dev? It's almost always star, but you never know. Got to check it. And then the cornerback, which I also want to take a look at the other guy, because the Packers corner actually looked even better, which is the guy that I originally noticed. This is the kind of the leftover of the 2, which, I mean, I kind of liked. I also want to see that Slade guy, I think his name is, or maybe it was Slay. Star Dev. I really don't understand why they were still there, but let's take a look. Mr. Given, 74 overall as well. Also hidden development traits. Better catching, similar athleticism. I think this guy's a little bit better, but he is also a year older, I think. I think our guy was 21. I just looked at him. I already forgot. Dev, also star. So, I mean, 2 sneaky players near the end of, where they shouldn't even have been. Let's take a look at that edge, which, I mean, there's no way I was ever going to 14. If you had told me that he was going to be at 14, I would never trade it up for him. He looks decent, but more of a block shed type as well, which without the size, even though he's tall, maybe doesn't make as much sense. Also star dev, so we did not miss out there. Let's take a look at Richardson and then try to find that DT if we can, or the safety anyways. Richardson, 74 overall, also hidden. Not great, actually. So maybe, unless he's superstar or better, maybe actually not better than our guy. A little surprised by that. And star dev, or maybe it wasn't Richardson. Maybe Richardson was the last ditch effort guy. Nah, I think it was him. Yeah, it was definitely him. Where's that Slade guy, though? He must have been in this round. Slay. I keep saying Slade. And glad we took the corner over him, even though we needed the safety more. All right, Season 3, the team is looking okay. Obviously, there's some normal devs on the offensive line, and guys like Lewis are a little bit on the older side for development. 27 years old. And, Charles Cross has played like some crap. So when he needs a contract, do I pay him? I don't know. Lockett's aging. Really need him to get a dev up this season. He's like 31. Yeah, he's 31. If he got a dev up this season, maybe that would save him enough for the rest of this rebuild, but last season was kind of like the hot spot. I don't even know, the sweet spot, if you will. Is it too late? I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. Free agency really hasn't been super kind. There's not really been players that we need, and even when we have them, we can't get them to come here. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the best it's going to get for the moment. Other than, there's some crazy pass rusher. Derek Hall really hasn't been great, and Wosu's been decent. What was Derek Hall's last season, actually? Because I kind of forgot. 8.5. He's improving, so we'll see. But it is a 3-4 after all, and 3-4 just sucking sim. 109 mil for the re-sign period. We talked about Draymond Jones and saying, we're going to replace him. But if we have this kind of money, even though we have to pay Gino, might be... Wait. When the hell did Devin Bush become a superstar? Did I just, completely ignore that? Oh, I forgot you can get this. Superstar Dev for defensive play. I did not even know that was a thing. People said it was a thing, and I was like, these guys are just loons. They're crazy people. But apparently that happens. I didn't know that. I've never seen that like in an actual like franchise you play. But okay, sure. But Draymond Jones, even though he's been a little iffy, this contract for an 84 overall superstar is totally worth it on the interior. It's like, what, 13 mil per year? That's not that bad. I've seen like 20 plus. That's okay. Geno, I want to see how he's playing because we might have to replace him. I mean, he's playing like Geno. I mean, yes, we do have to technically cheat to keep him around, but until he's like 35 or 36, I'm cool with doing that because it's realistic. So another 3-year 90 mentor tag. I think he's playing like a guy that would still get a 3. I forgot he's red. But would still get like a 3-year 90 plus. I don't think he would take anything under 3 years, especially with the guarantees. Devin Bush, 4-year 28. That's obviously a nice career turnaround for him. Yeah, we have a lot of money still, and I mean, basically everyone's paid up. Quandre Diggs isn't paid up because we don't know if we want to keep him. I mean, I'd do a 1-year 10.5. Hey, my boy. We love it. And yeah, I mean, Julian Love is okay, but he's a backup. We'll debate it. Depends. And you would really wish that Geno was on the green interest, but he's not. Yeah, Julian Love is a nice backup. All right, the division sucks yet again, but it doesn't really matter because we are doing well. Kind of a loss there, which is a sad sight considering the team was 4-12 before that win over us. Do have the home game, but it is against Dallas, a team that is notoriously pretty good in sim. Let's take a look at our season, though. Pretty good, and then, a couple losses here and there. It's just a decent season. Nothing, it's not one of those weird seasons where we, 8-2 and then a bunch of losses. But let's take a look at the numbers. Geno Smith, still a pretty good season. Once again, in that 80 to 83 range, in my opinion, as far as, like, rushing goes. I mean, this scheme hasn't been elite. People are telling me, the Cowboys scheme is so busted. Sure, we're winning games. Maybe that's what they meant by it. But as far as, like, stats go, I've definitely seen way better. Like, you're just not getting dev-ups from the stats we're getting here. Of course, Charles Cross finally plays well. Wow, Royster with 14 sacks. Could be a dev-up, hopefully. And Wosu, another pretty good season. But those stats are not getting you dev-ups, which are, like, the most important things in rebuilds. So if this isn't the year we make the Super Bowl and win it, or at least get to the Super Bowl, I'm going to have to change the scheme. Because as much as I like the fit for this team, it's just not getting us over the hump. It's getting Kenneth Walker a hell of a career, but it's just not getting us over the hump. It's not winning us games, really, in the playoffs, and ultimately it's not giving us dev-ups. Lockett's not going to get a dev-up here, which, I mean, might just ruin him here. Honestly, without that superstar dev, he's going to regress hard. All right, not the greatest start for us, but we had a couple of drives that just didn't score. We can change that. It's not over. Down by 3, all tied up, and here you go. Offense has a chance here. I thought they turned it over. They're moving, but they're not. Well, now they're not moving, but they were moving, and then they stopped, and the clock is just kind of dripping. I don't really like this playbook for passing. The passing plays kind of suck. Do you just streak fan? I mean, this looks like they're not going to get back on fan, right? No, they do. Kenneth. Oh, my God, Kenneth. Even though it's not my boy, Kenneth. Bro, Kenneth. Yeah, this isn't your, this is the opposite of the meme where it's like Kenneth at home. Our Kenneth at home is actually better than this. Metcalf, that's pretty good coverage, but Metcalf is him. Gets out of bounds. I'm going to let the AI play this out as I think we've done enough to advance to the divisional round, which we have not had the greatest of history lately in anyways, so we'll see what happens. And they're letting that clock go. This game, dude. This game. Can they win it anyways? 3rd and 18. And they didn't even run out of timeouts or anything either. Lockett, what a catch, and here we go again. There you go. Yeah, they don't have a stack this time. Easier to get there. Want to kick the field goal? You want to? I mean, obviously not even there yet, technically. Did they miss the intercepted by Riley? Okay, I guess I have to cheat because this game. All right, so this kicker doesn't miss, so we're going to skip, assuming he was going to hit like a 35-ish yard field goal. which gives us the win over the Cowboys. Going forward, I'm just going to make it where even if we're the benefit of that, we just got to back out and, just allow it, them to win, because it's just unrealistic, right? Like, you got to kick the field goal, dude. Yeah, like, you can't not kick the field goal. 11 seconds left with a timeout, and you run out of time? How does that make any sense? Oh, this would be the year to win it. The Colts, I suppose, aren't that bad, but the Colts on the other side are moving on, and it was the Jets against them. I mean, it seems like a little bit of a weaker season, maybe. Defense doing okay. Offense is doing terribly. Come on. There you go. Up by 3. Come on. Yes. Up by 10. Giants respond. Ooh, they're leading now. Come on, offense. This is on the offense. This is not the defense's fault. Do not get it twisted. I mean, right now, they're not making it. They're not giving me any reason to like them. Okay, the clock is not running, so we do have a chance. They're going to potentially throw it here, which, in a way, you kind of hope for. And picked off by Woolen. Not that it really matters that much, because you actually almost want them to kick the field goal, because then the field goal, the field position's a little bit better, but great coverage, dude. He locked down. I've had Woolen in our, 99 overall Woolen play worse than that before on curl routes. That's insane. Like, that is elite defense. Gets hit by his own guy. That is a base route that I did not edit in any way. Did not alter it, yet almost just lost it. Don't want to, the clock is a problem. Fant. Nice throw. Gets out of bounds to the 37. It was a little early with that out of bounds, but we're going to go for a little bit more yardage here. We're kind of run out of clock. Can't exactly go for 10, 15-yard chunks anymore from the 38-yard line. Touchdown or nothing, and our freaking running back misses. That's going to be it. Oh, we got it off. Bro, you've got to be freaking joking me. You've got to be joking me. Charles Cross is some booty. Divisional round yet again. How is he this bad? Bro, Charles Cross is ass. He is so bad. Obviously not in real life, but video game Charles Cross just got cooked back-to-back plays with the season on the line. Bro, he's so trash. He is not good at all. These are the numbers. I'm kind of annoyed right now. 5 is... Nah. We're replacing him. I don't know what it is about him. 5 sacks. Nah, dude. And it wasn't just some sim BS. He was that bad. If he would have actually played the game out, it would have been like 15 sacks allowed, I swear to God. And there's nothing I could do there. I can't just dump it off to the running back right away as the last play of the game, I just got to hope that somehow, some way, Geno gets enough room to throw the ball up to the end zone. That's literally the only way we win the game. What a joke. Bills versus the Vikings. Got to love when the Cowboys. The Giants look amazing, and then they can't do anything against a team that's probably lesser than us in the Vikings. But the Vikings win the Super Bowl. Love it. All right, time to look at DevOps. If we had any, I don't think we would have on offense. Yeah, other than maybe Geno for some reason, but obviously didn't get that. And then, yeah, defense we did expect in Nwosu and Royster. Look at Nwosu, though. 91 overall. He's kind of baller. What's his ratings? 95 finesse, no block shed. That's not bad. He's kind of balling out. Of course, D-line looks pretty good. Really looking for a new free safety down the line here. We got Love back on a 2-year 9. We got Diggs on a 1-year 10.5. But to be honest with you, might have made a bad decision there. Is he mentor? He has no tags, not even mentor tag, which is just an L. But even though he's slow as hell, he's got great zone coverage. So in the terms of Madden, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world unless we have to physically come into the game. It shouldn't matter too much. Also, Kenneth is max and elusive, so his power back is starting to upgrade, which is nice. Yeah, look at him go. He is a beast. Get that stiff arm at 90+, and you are cooking. But yeah, I mean, we got Geno on a 3-year 99. Going to be fixing him back to 82, 83 overall-ish. And that's going to stop at 35. I think 35 is the kind of cutoff point where it's yeah, okay, regression should probably happen. Would be nice to see him dev up. Once again, we're going to be changing the scheme, even though we're getting a little complacent because we're making the playoffs, and it's nice to make the playoffs. At the end of the day, we are not winning these games, and I mean something's got to give. Free agency could be a nice little help as well. Again, Nick Chubb would be good, but we don't really need him. Wide receivers, not really in need. Trey Hendrickson. Derek Hall has been iffy, but I don't think Trey Hendrickson's going to be able to play it off that well either. He's pretty sick here as a superstar X Factor, but just getting 10 sacks a season in a 4-3, there's no way he's just going to automatically come into a 3-4 and do better. 3-4s are just bustedly bad. Cornerback is not a need. I mean, there's really not many needs we have in general. I also put Torrance at star, I'm pretty sure, so I'm not really sure what that's about. Honestly, you'd be looking at the future. Oh, so wait, are dev regressions on? Because I had Michael Mayer as a superstar as well. I don't know, but yeah, there's really not. Yeah, I think dev regressions are on because Skoronski was a superstar for me as well. Also, he was a guard, I thought. Maybe I forgot to grab him. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm not really liking what I'm seeing here. We went with a little bit of a crazy one. We went with Byron Murphy. His man coverage is pretty iffy, so I figured he could be the future at the free safety position. And yeah, I don't know what's his background at safety, if there is one, but I don't know. Great zone coverage equals safety to me. That's how it is. Bro, how is he so good at pass blocking, yet he's garbage? I'm going to trade him off for a first-round pick. As much as he's not playing well for us, he is still, in its essence, a very high overall, once-upon-a-time high draft pick player. Bijan's only 88. I made him a superstar. I didn't put him an X Factor in this one because I feel like he goes up that high anyways way too often. Trent Brown, yeah, I mean, he'd be more dependable, I suppose, but yeah, that would be kind of a stupid trade. It wouldn't make any sense. Let's trade him off to the most left tackle needy team's first-round pick, which hopefully is a late first. Charles Cross of the Commanders for pick 23. You don't see guys that young, that high overall getting traded often, but he has been awful for us. I don't know if it's the scheme, what it is, but he's out of here. He's out of here. We're going for a new left tackle. Not paying him. He's playing like crap. Costs us the playoffs. See you later. All right, so obviously left tackle is... Oh, I forgot we have that extra first-round pick. I could have maybe looked at top 10, top 15 players to make a trade up for, but we'll see. Left tackle is our biggest need, as we technically do not have one. Also, though, there are some quarterbacks still here. I don't know if there's just teams that don't need them, but I did not expect... Oh, he's 23. That's a bit of an L. Did not expect to be seeing quarterbacks here. What about this guy? 22 with good throw power. He's okay, but kind of just rather rock with who we have currently. Maybe go for James Hughes a little bit later. These quarterbacks, I mean, this guy looks decent even though he's a 2 to 3 grade. Great throw power. If it wasn't for that 2 to 3, I'd actually take a chance on him, but 2 to 3 is not good. Super fast there, but let's just get our lineman and call it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'd rather have Mitchell Keenan. And then do I have any other 1 to 2s? I do not. So I guess this is a trade down. I mean, do I grab a first round quarterback even though I don't necessarily like any of them? I like Murray the most, I think, but once again, another 2 to 3, which is... No, it's not him, actually. It's not him. Is it this guy? 22, I think this is the guy. This is the guy, but 2 to 3 talent grade is definitely iffy. A deep throwing. You have the other guys that are 1 to 2s. Were any of these guys better than good? I don't think. Okay, so he's 20. Yeah, he was decent, but it's 23. Do I take a chance on a 23-year-old? One's if he's superstar, or one's if he's normal and it's just the biggest waste of a pick ever. Do I try it? I'm going to try it. Will Klein. What a decision. I'm so stupid. We're going to take a 2nd and 3rd off of the Bengals this year for this pick, and then we gain a 5th next year, which is not bad at all. Pick 12 should be able to get us our tackle, assuming he's there. Even if he isn't, one of our tackles went. Even if he isn't, we'll just grab, a guard. We have a guard anyways. Keenan looked the best, so that's who we're going to be grabbing here. Mr. Mitchell Keenan, left tackle future, hidden development trade. Not even left tackle future, left tackle now. Do we have anyone else? That quarterback. Oh, I'm so dumb. So dumb. 1 to 2. Watch the other guys are better, even though it said 1 to 2. Definitely want Phillip Williams. He looks amazing. We could use a DN Calhoun. What was his speed again? I don't think it was great. It's actually physically great. A power move. I mean, our left out's not been great, to be honest. What about Darrell Sims? Safety is not really a big need now that we have Byron Murphy, but that speed is ridiculous. I think I'm actually going to trade up for that edge, although it's from San Francisco, so let's wait for the Packers. If they don't take him, they don't. They did go DN, though. We should afford this and a 5th next to move up 13 spots. That was 13, right? Yeah, that was the number 13. Congrats. And then we're going to be taking Mr. Calhoun with this pick, which hopefully is decent. I kind of have normal Dev vibes, but 21 years old, high potential player with decent athleticism, and he actually is hidden. A little slower than I would have thought, but 84 speed is obviously usable, and we will take that. That's a good pick. We do this trade to move up to 67. We still have pick 12 in the 3rd, which is nice. Danny McBride, I didn't even notice that. What a name. Let's take a look at the players. So I ended up trading, I don't know what I just said. I ended up trading up for the center, of course. Don't necessarily need these linemen, but this guy just looks so unbelievably good. He can't be bad. I was setting myself up there, but hidden development trade. Honestly, I probably should have traded up 12 because realistically, I don't know if I even need any more linemen. I probably just still take Fox if he's there, honestly, and then call it a draft. I don't really need him, but might be worth it. Chamberlain goes, which is not a fun sight to see because that means one less lineman to look at. Yep, and that's exactly what happens. I guess we take the best remaining player in Monroe here, who is normal development trade. Yeah, hit or miss draft. Should have maybe traded up for Fox. Just, you never know when these guys are going to go. There was a 3 to 4. Could have literally been there till the start of the 4th round. Iffy draft, especially with that quarterback. Please be a good overall, though. Oh, wow, that's a terrible pick. I mean, that is just a terrible pick. This is why I don't like taking players with age, unless they're guaranteed, which, I mean, obviously he wasn't. He's not bad, but he's like QB3 at this point on the roster. The D-end was great. The tackle was okay. The center was worse than I thought, though. I mean, with all those A's, I would have expected... I mean, he actually is pretty decent, but I would have easily expected somebody that's 75-plus overall, but I guess not. What is Dev? Maybe he's a superstar, though? Not even. So, it's a good player, but yikes, dude. What about Calhoun? Maybe he's superstar. That would be kind of clutch. I think we need a left out. So, even if he doesn't start, he is worth the pick just because he is good and hidden. We can use him as a depth player at worst, and he is also a star development trait, sadly. What about Keenan? Can I get like one superstar dev player, please? Another decent player, actually. Usually you have like a really bad set of ratings, but his pass block, even though it's not great, isn't the worst I've seen either. And yet another star development trait player. Okay, and that wide receiver was 71 overall in fairness, but he's still really bad. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks that we could have had and didn't take. Don't remember off the top of my head who was what and what was who, but hidden development trait for a guy that I believe was considered a 2 to 3, which going forward now means I will not exclusively decide on a player based on their talent grade, because 2 to 3 is clearly a lie. He's more talented and actually has dev. What about Murray? Even this guy did not look good at all, but he was fast. Low throw power, but he's still good. He's low throw power. It was like good versus our guy's great. It was too different. It was too different. And look who's better. That guy, 2 years younger on top of it. Yeah, we took the sell. I don't know who this guy was, but even he's better than our guy. We took the worst one. I love to see that. Super fun. And as far as Fox goes, he was normal dev, so we don't really hate it. Here we go for Season 4. I mean, everyone is kind of hanging in tough. Gino would drop to like a 78 overall, 79 overall, I believe. Fixed him back to 82 because, once again, he's not 35 yet. I think 35 is the cutoff point, and he played pretty well yet again. Wide receivers, Lockett didn't really regress. This point, I don't know how much it would matter if he got to superstar, but man, I'll tell you what. He is a guy that lasts super long in Madden. I don't know how it's possible, but he is like the best longevity wide receiver in the game. I don't understand. Even at star dev, he's always here. Looking at the defense, I mean, it looks pretty good. Murphy is a free safety rating of 88, so he went up 1 overall. Diggs is being paid a lot of money to be a backup, but that's okay because we have it. And, I mean, the defense should not be a problem. It should not be a problem. Whereas the offense, we'll see. We're actually having a bit of a strugglesome season, but if we win, we are in 10-7. Of course, the Rams somehow at 11-6, the Niners at 10-7, and then the Cardinals have just been bad the entire way. Trench boost, who cares? Whatever. Seems like that Dallas playbook may be the best option for us. We changed to the Cincinnati playbook after the Chiefs wasn't really cooking up. A lot of interceptions, but more touchdowns than usual, more yards than usual. Kenneth still played well. Lockett should be a dev-up guy. I mean, it was a weird season, but I suppose... Oh, wow, left tackle just sucks for this team. I suppose it was a positive one. Everyone but Nwosu is terrible. Tariq Woolen, 4 interceptions. Sykes was okay. Dixon was decent. Kick return, punt return game, very tame. Any award wins? It seemed like Lockett was pretty good, right? Maybe best wide receiver if we're lucky. And he was number 2, so that should still be a dev-up, hopefully. And Nwosu is the best outside linebacker. I mean, we got a couple of award wins, had a couple of decent seasons. Could this be the year? Could it be? I don't remember ever using the Cincinnati playbook in the playoffs, so we'll find out. And just in any rebuild, not just this one, obviously. 91 to their 87. We have them by overall. Do we have them by skill, though? We definitely do, but we'll see what EA thinks. We've made it to the playoffs a lot. We've won, the wild card round a lot. Can we at least get to a Super Bowl, even if we don't win it? Not really the greatest start, but doing enough as we're up by 1.5. Now down by 2. Offense, come on. No matter what playbook we run, this offense is not good in the clutch. Driving down, finally scoring. It took over a full quarter. Defense does its job. 3rd and 5. They get the conversion, and they will win the game, which, I mean, wow, that was kind of quick. It has not been really a problem for us. It's the divisional is where it gets bad. Geno is decent. Tua was awful. Rushing was pretty tame. Lockett was really good in this one. What about defense? Davenport, Nelson, Zadarius Smith, Sykes missing a kick. Come on, man. All right, the divisional round. We've not been able to win in this round, but we are here going up against the Niners. I don't know if that's good or a bad thing. Once again, we are the higher overall team, but we have struggled mightily in this round. It is raining. I do not know if this is a good thing for us, but we have a nice turnaround, get a touchdown. Nice drive for a field goal. Would love to see that be a touchdown, but that's okay. Up 7, and the lead is still there by 4. Offense got to cook. There you go. Up by 11. Now only up by 5 with a missed extra point or a failed 2-point conversion. Doesn't matter though, as they're now up by 3. The offense is some booty around here. Back-to-back plays with no completion. And with this kind of weather, they want to kick a near max field goal for this kicker. Not really sure the idea behind that, but I'm not going to let them sell. And what is Fant doing? Honest to God, where is he going? Where is he? What route is he running? He's supposed to be running a wheel route, not an out route. Oh, he bumps his own guy. Where is it? Metcalf's wide open, by the way. Where is he going, dude? Holy anticipation route. Can't do it when your guys are special. And they've won another. I don't know, dude. Another divisional round loss. Yet another one. Mac Jones, the quarterback. Geno's throwing 2 interceptions again. Well, I mean, this would be a situation where you'd be like, okay, yeah, we might need to draft QB because Geno's just not getting the job done, and he's throwing interceptions in the playoffs left and right. To roll between the Chiefs and the Falcons, the winner of this one is the Falcons. Did Lockett go to Superstar? He did, 89 overall. Let's take a look at that dev up. 33 years old. I don't know if regression's hit already. They did, and he's still him. He's still usable. That's absurd. We have 3 near 90-plus overall wide receivers, which is pretty nice. I mean, how do we not get it done with this team? I don't know what I'm looking at. Offensive line isn't the greatest, but they've played okay outside of the left tackle spot every single season. And then defensively, I don't think we had a single dev up, which, based on the season we had, definitely makes sense. Oh, and I kind of forgot to re-sign players who are all super not interested, which I'm not really sure why that's the case, but I super sold. 7-year, 98. I'm going to have to overpay a little bit just to make sure we don't lose anybody. This is going to be challenging because wide receivers are notoriously hard to re-sign. Yeah, I'm going to have to tag him. Jamal Adams, I mean, he's a safety, but he's played pretty well for us. Offers perfect. Went a little low ball on him, but it worked out. Tariq Woolen needs a contract. He's already 27, which is kind of an L, but a 4-year, 68. Glad a lot of these guys are green interest because otherwise we'd be in some trouble. Morris needs a contract. Is that true? I think it actually might be. We've gone through this pretty far. I guess I'm going to hold off the franchise. Nah, Metcalf's the one guy you can't lose. What the hell am I doing here? Derek Hall, I think you let go. He's played pretty poorly, and he's asking for some money right now. Where the hell even is he? Did I accidentally just pay him? I don't even know. But Mike Morris, he's been okay here and there. He's also pretty cheap, 4-year 48. You know, it's not cheap per se, but it's not that bad. Lucas has been really good, so 4-year 38. Nice. Okay, so these contracts are going pretty well considering we absolutely sold Charbonnet. He's been a decent backup, and once again, the money's not bad. That's the main importance, obviously, a 4-year 14. Dixon's been a decent punter. So considering we massively sold on this by forgetting to do re-signings earlier, we actually came out okay. I still don't know what happened with Derek Hall because I don't want him anymore. I don't know where he is. I really don't know what just happened. But a 2-year 27, Lockett's gone. Finally gets decent dev and all that, and he's gone. What a disaster. But yeah, I mean, I guess we did okay. Oh, did I actually break the game and tag him somehow? Did I not tag? Oh, did I actually sell and forget to tag? No, I tagged Metcalf, no? Ah, great. DK Metcalf's a free agent because this game is stupid. Look at freaking Jordan Davis sitting there, all full green interest and all, and we're broke as hell, can't afford anyone. Or actually, we're not broke. The game's just busted when I'm trying to re-sign. If we didn't have Draymond Jones, I'd actually probably be able to go for him. So I'd move Royster over to right end. I also should probably just trade Slade off because he's being wasted by us. He's he's 24 years old now. He hasn't even gotten to start. Probably should just trade him off, but maybe we'll get a late second, early third for him. As he is worth it. 24-year-old, 80 overall nose tackle. I mean, pretty decent. Looking at what we need, though, left out, we probably shouldn't even have Derek Hall. I really don't care, though. I probably wouldn't even want him. But we're going to try to get Metcalf back, and then, do one more draft, really. There's not really much we can do to add enough talent to make this team godly. We trade Pickett to the Bills for 92. He's an 81 overall 24-year-old. We just never had a chance to really start him. He was the number 3 for a bit and then became the number 4. There's just no point in keeping him, so we trade him off. We trade with the Titans, pick 27, 59, and 92 for 13. And the reason why we have done that is because we're going to be taking the quarterback of the future, which we may never see in this rebuild, in Mr. Dom Stockton. Teams just don't need quarterbacks. All of these quarterbacks have been here since the very start. Dom Stockton's our guy. Hidden development trait, 94 throw power, decent speed, 21 years old. He's him. And then we trade our star development trait, backup quarterback, plus a 6th-round pick to the Commanders for 65. Don't know why they didn't take the quarterback in the first round. It says there was one of their bigger needs. Their highest overall is 71 overall, and they're kind of old. But they passed on him, not me, and it looks like that was a really bad decision. Hodges is a round 1 talent as well. But Tiller is the bigger need, so that is who we're going to be taking. Will Tiller, will you give me my pick back? Because that was an awful play. We then trade 91 and 123 this with the 5th round next year to move up to 66. I guess we'll be taking Hodges as it is kind of a future-proofing position. I think Draymond Jones is needing a contract soon again, and obviously I wouldn't be giving him yet another contract. Tight end, I mean, it's up there. Let's see how fast Dalton Ali is. 21 years old, decently fast in fairness. But Hodges, nose tackle, round 1 grade, I think is the best pick here. Wheaton looks decent too, but I don't really care anymore. Linemen are just so hit or miss for me in this draft, or in this this rebuild. Hugh Hodges, round 1 talent grade, hidden development trait. What else could I say? All right, here it is, the final draft for the final season. 76 overall quarterback of the future, Dom Stockton. I'm kind of curious about the other quarterbacks, though, in fairness. 88 short accuracy is pretty wild. Pretty wild. What's that Dev looking like? Only star, which is a little bit of an L, but it is what it is. Tiller, 72 overall. The DT, pretty curious about because he is decently high overall, and he had that high projection grade. Power move's not bad, actually, and then 76 block shed is pretty solid. No bull rush, apparently, which is a little weird. But let's take a look at that Dev. Only star, so, I mean, a little misleading. Oop, wrong one. Power move, obviously. He's a big dude. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks, though. I'm kind of curious. Wow, okay, I can see why the Texans went with QB or wide receiver. That guy's kind of crazy. Who else? This would have been my number 2 of the group. Also hidden development trait. A little bit more balance, a little more fast, but a lot worse in accuracy. So the Texans still ended up getting that quarterback position. And he's superstar, so technically better than the guy we took, which you gotta love. Gotta love that top 5 grade lying like a moaf on you. Anyone else? Hawkins I would have never taken. McQueen maybe. A little bit faster, normal development trait. If you could switch at Excel and Agility 1 slot each to the left, he would be so sick. Instead, he's kind of mid. Oh, man, that hurts. And then Kyle Hawkins, who is also hidden development trait. The fastest of the bunch for sure. Goes to the team that probably would utilize that speed the least. And he started. I mean, there really wasn't many great quarterbacks. Stockton was definitely the best overall, but I guess that superstar quarterback was the best out of all of them, technically. Here it is. This is kind of as good as it gets, even though this is definitely a downgrade from last year. But we added even more speed with Quez Watkins in free agency here last second. And, I mean, the team is still really good. There's nothing else to say about it. The team's really good. The team has underperformed a little bit, and there's really not much more that can be done at this point. Honestly, it's a solid team. It's one of the best in the league, and we're just not getting lucky enough. I guess maybe it's Geno because he's a lower overall. We also didn't change his rating because I believe he is now 35, and even if he wasn't, who cares because he's done after the season anyways. He's 79 overall. He's 35. This is the last-ditch effort here. So we couldn't get that contract to DK Metcalf the year before. We're having an iffy season so far. Player has no franchise quarterback. Well, I mean, that's just the way it goes. 5-year 160, please. Oh, you could, but please just stop. JSN, 4-year 56. A lot more affordable than our Metcalf friend here. 696 is a worthy deal. Royster. Okay, so we're definitely losing some players here, considering everyone is red. Everyone. How? Nobody's happy. Just not a single soul here is happy. Okay, fair enough. Everyone's mad. Everyone wants a damn franchise quarter. Oh, my God. So, we're losing Bonds, Hall, the fullback, who cares, backup safety, Quez, Claxton, and I still haven't afforded Metcalf, and we have 3.4 mil left. I don't know why Metcalf thinks he's worth like $40 million per year, but he just does. It's really unfortunate. All right, here we go to the playoffs, and we're not in. We go 10-7, and we're not in. What a finish to the rebuild. 7th place is the Panthers. All right, that's it. That's the rebuild. Geno Smith played pretty well. Rushing was great. Receiving was maybe not so great. JSN really hasn't played well. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all there is to it. Our best season defensively, and EA just said, nope, no playoffs for you guys. This was literally by far our best season outside of the receivers, but that doesn't really matter because it was a group effort that we've had this entire rebuild, and it's the one season we miss. We even won Defensive Player of the Year and D-line. I don't know why this has happened, but we're going to find out who won the Super Bowl, take a look at the players that we want to take a look at, and call it a rebuild. I mean, we won a lot of playoff games, couldn't get past the divisional round. Sometimes EA just has it out for you. What can I tell you? EA they just win. Sometimes they just win, and the Chiefs finally win a Super Bowl, speaking of. But let's take a look at the team. Obviously, Geno Smith has regressed. DK Metcalf, who once again basically wants 40+ mil a year. He is very good. He is a freak in the game, but man, that is a harsh contract to try to deal with. JSN, I'm interested. What is his speed? 92. Okay, he went up 2 speed. Not bad at all. Short route's amazing. Medium route's amazing. Releases, Catching's amazing. Deep route's, But, I mean, other than release being maybe a couple more points higher, it's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty set. Kenneth Walker, obviously, super speedy. Great truck, stiff arm, juke move. Spin move's a little lower than you'd like it, but who cares? Spin moves is what it is. And then, of course, let's take a look at the tight end. Noah Fant, who got up to an 88 overall, which I'm a little surprised by. 90 speed, 95 catch. I mean, he's pretty baller. He's pretty freaking baller. Taking a look at the offensive line now. They didn't draft anyone, right? So there's really no one to pay attention to here. I guess Abraham Lucas, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, it's really not much to look at there. Defensively, let's take a look at these guys. Where are we looking at? Nwosu, I guess we'll take a look at. Devin Bush is kind of, he's still pretty low overall, but we'll look at Mr. Jordan Brooks, who we almost didn't talk about this entire rebuild. Didn't go up in dev once either. Just a really tame, kind of rebuild for him. Normally he's pretty damn good, but yeah, pretty tame. Ratings aren't even that great. Block shed only 82, zone only 73. I mean, that's pretty mid. Jamal Adams, I guess, even though he's probably lower than he would have started. 89 speed, 89 zone. It is what it is. I'm also a little surprised that we're this broke, right? We are broke as hell. A lot of these contracts would have been contracts that I offered. So, normally I don't let it get this bad, but I guess the team would still be usable. We would just tag Metcalf, and, the offensive lineman doesn't really matter too much. We have, decent backups ready to go, and we kept pretty much everyone else other than that. Witherspoon, 89 overall. I'd imagine he's one way or the other, not both. And that is man coverage. Pretty good press as well. Solid athleticism. He was pretty quiet in this one as well. Woolen, at least he had, some interceptions. I don't know why. I'm trying to think back, and it feels like I'm trying to come. Okay, that's disgusting. I feel like I called him Wooded once. Did I not? I don't know. If I did, my bad. Draymond Jones, interesting name to mention. 30 years old now, 86 overall. Very good block shedder, decent finesse. He was okay, but Royster was definitely the better of the interior, and Nwosu was great throughout this one, pretty much. Royster, though, 96 finesse move, 79 block shed. This is where I would, I actually hit speed rusher, but this is where I would go with the run stopper. Although it gave him 2 to block shed, so I mean, one way or another, it worked out to perfection. 5 block shed. I mean, he's insane, dude. He is insane. What else do we have? Mike Morris, I suppose, is important to look at. 88 overall, despite the fact that he was never really great. Just played a lot of seasons. 98 power move, yet outside of this season, it was pretty bad throughout. Pretty sad, to be honest. But let's look at our final player here in Mr. Derek Hall, who was awful start to finish. Maybe this season he was good, I don't know. But overall, he was pretty bad. 93 finesse move. Okay, block shedding. I kind of want to take a look at the career stats of these guys. I should probably do that more often in these rebuilds with real-life players, as you'd get a decent idea of, their kind of average just based on their seasons played. So Gino is decent, I guess. It is what it is with these. Charbonnet, 3.8 yards per carry average as a backup isn't bad in Sim. You see a lot of great players do even worse than that. Looking at it in Jigba, 5,100 yards, so basically 1,000 yards a season if you average it out. 37 touchdowns, which is pretty cool. What else do we have? Blocking, Abraham Lucas, 50 is kind of high, to be honest. Sack totals, Royster killed it. Draymond Jones was okay. Derek Hall, not great considering the talent around him. Morris, okay, since he's an interior guy. And then we don't look at the rest. The rest are useless. Interceptions, Woolen with 16, Witherspoon with 10. Pretty tame numbers there as well. Kicking, that kicker was pretty good. Dixon, under 50 yards per punt in his career, which is, I don't know, But that's pretty much going to be it. If you guys enjoy this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel, especially this late into the Madden year. We've been doing a relocation fantasy draft franchise, which a lot of people have been enjoying, so maybe check that out if you haven't seen it, whoever you are out there. The biggest thing you can do for me, though, is let me know in the comment section below who you would like to see next being rebuilt. The Steelers would be kind of high on my list, of course, and the Vikings maybe because of Addison, I guess. There's a couple of teams that are, still pretty big changers from the draft. Maybe the Bears or something like that. I don't know. But let me know in the comment section below. I'm not sure what the upload plan is because I usually don't like to upload on Fridays. I don't know why. I just feel like most people just prefer not to watch videos on Friday and just do their own thing. But maybe there'll be a video tomorrow. Either way, it'll be either a video tomorrow and no video on Friday, or no video tomorrow and a video on Friday. Regardless, I think Star Wars will come out, vice versa on those days. So if there's no main channel upload tomorrow, it'll be Star Wars. If there's if there is main channel, then Star Wars will be on Friday. So that's on the second channel, Care Plays as well. Maybe subscribe if you want. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, really disappointed that we didn't get to the damn championship or better. See ya!